Hi divas and welcome back. I've been watching Steve Jobs interview speech at a college. Maybe just a speech, not an interview. I watched it honestly twice. I haven't been watching it on a loop, but I think I'm gonna watch it every single day just to give me that extra oomph of motivation because he said something in that speech that honestly resonated so much with me and brought me so much hope and peace of mind. It honestly made gave me full body chills. He basically narrates, I'll link it for you guys, but he basically narrates his journey and every time that he had ups and downs and how the downs directed him in the path of a big victory and how without the fails, the victories probably wouldn't come. So if you guys did an analysis, I always say this, right? That life is like this. It's kind of like the Miley Cyrus song, The Climb. I always say that because I think it shaped my childhood and life. But it's like you're going up. He was starting at Apple and everything, and then he got fired. And then he founded Pixar and another company that got bought by Apple. And then he discovered that he had cancer, and then he cured his cancer. He could have just stayed in Apple his whole life and gone ooh, but the intensity, I don't know, there's something about life that when we're in our down period, it's so easy for us to just be down in the dumps and be so sad and be so disappointed, be so in the dark of the light that is about to come, that it's easy for us to be in a sad energy, in a confused energy, in a feeling sorry for ourselves energy, like why is this going on, when this is happening exactly to prepare us and redirect us for the huge abundant sleep that we're about to have. But if we stay so caught up in that energy of the downfall here and the dumps, it's so hard for us to align ourselves properly to the energy, that it's so hard for us to properly allow ourselves to get redirected and to align with the redirection. It's so much easier for us to dig a hole and bury ourselves in the down than for us to be let me shake it off and let me see what the universe is trying to help me realize. How can I improve and how can I prepare myself for something even better than what had happened previously? Because life is truly about evolution. Life will give us a million opportunities to evolve, to outgrow the situation that we were in. And it is like a constant cycle of the butterfly. We graduate high school and then we go to college. Through our journeys in high school, pre-kinder and middle school, we go from a little caterpillar to a cocoon and then butterfly. Then when we enter college, it's everything, it's so new, everything is so different. We go back into the little caterpillar and then cocoon, and then when we graduate, butterfly. And then living alone, it's a process. Butterfly. Getting your first job, getting fired from your job, ooh, back to the caterpillar. And it's a constant evolution, but in my mind, it's each time we're becoming an even bigger, more colorful butterfly. It's every time we pass through the journeys and the depths and rebirths, a color is added to our wings, and then another color, and then another color. And each lesson serves as an opportunity for us to just become an even better version of ourselves that maybe we could have never imagined becoming. And maybe without this difficulty, we truly would never become. I don't know, I think there's something so magical and so uncomfortable about outgrowing the space that you were in. It's hard because it isn't an easy journey for you to become the butterfly. It's honestly, I always think that it must be pretty traumatic. You're alone, you're so big in a space that is little for your size, and you have to crawl out your way and rip that cocoon that until now has been your safe space, your home, your comfort zone. And you're out in the world, and it doesn't last long. Once I realized that the butterfly only lives 2 days or something, it honestly depressed me. But it's such a beautiful cycle, and it keeps happening again and again and again. He says in his interview, that in his speech, that right now we are the new versions of ourselves. We are the version that the future version of us is going to look back and think of as the past and the old version. There's a version of us that is going to outgrow us, be better than us. I think our journey and our goal as a human is to be ready to position ourselves in the places where we need to be, to find the strength within us to keep going when it gets tough, to keep believing, to keep going. Sometimes it feels like you're like, this is the end of the road, but you haven't seen how high you're still gonna get. There's not gonna not be a low, but there's always gonna be a higher and higher and higher. I think my theater teacher said this, I'm not quite sure, but someone in my theater class when I was a little kid and lived in South Africa said something about if every day was the best day of your life, it would become just a normal day. If every day you did your absolute favorite things and had the best time ever, at one point it would become boring because it would be all the same. So a little bit of difficulty I think also serves to make us realize how magical the good moments and the happy moments are. And life is full of so many things that we would never. I think life is just about getting up, feeling it, understanding that sometimes life is super hard, super challenging, that we came here as souls to evolve in such an intense period of the planet's existence that no one said it was going to be easy, but the intensity of like the emotions and everything is very real and I think has to be taken into consideration. But I think the thing is, if you're going through a tough moment, if you're down in the dumps, if you're going through a tough moment, if you're down in the dumps, remember how it works. When I was going through a really difficult moment in high school, one of my friends turned to me and said, the worse that it gets now, like as bad as it's gonna be right now, remember that it's gonna balance out. So if it's really bad right now, it's gonna get really good. And that brings me a lot of hope because I do believe that the universe is very balanced and fair. And every time that I've gone through something really horrible, something really amazing came after it. I think the thing is not let ourselves get super torn down by the defeat. So we have to remember that the victory will come. When the victory comes and we're feeling defeated after a victory, which I think hurts even more because you're in that victory energy and then something starts to defeat you and it becomes difficult and challenging and you get so attached to the energy of victory that when the defeat comes, it's like you'll never feel the victory again. But it's untrue. Life is about cycles and ups and downs and evolutions, and every time we fall, it's so we can empower ourselves and redirect ourselves onto a path that will make us rise even higher, and so on and so on. So I hope that this video can serve as a little reminder and a little hug from me to you and from Steve Jobs to all of us that life is really good. It has its difficult moments, but don't forget that if you're struggling, everything's about to get real good real soon. So don't get too attached to the good, to the bad. Find that balance within. Have that inner faith that everything's gonna work out. I know it's easier said than done, but the more that we can reprogram our brains to realize the actual pattern of our existence, the more that we can release and flow through this existence with ease. I love you. I hope that you enjoyed this and can subscribe and stick around. A lot of people that watch my videos don't subscribe, and I know that I also do that, but it would honestly mean the world to me and would help my channel out so much. So, love you. Bye.